We are here in the beautiful cupola hall of the Bode Museum, centered on the museum's island of Berlin. And with me is Christoph Hagel. Christoph is opera director and conductor. And Christoph, I wanted to ask, what connects you to this place here?
Well, every evening I'm conducting an opera here. I stage for this museum. An opera of Mozart, one of his latest operas, Titus, La Clemenza di Tito. And well, I have a very long, good relationship to this house and to the museum's island, and so it's already the third opera I perform and I produced for this beautiful place.
You are internationally renowned for bringing, I think, since 13 years, the opera to the most unusual places. Like, I tried to get tickets for Flying Bach, which was produced with hip-hoppers in the National Gallery, and also the Magic Flute in the subway station of the Bundestag. Like, what inspires you to bring the opera to such unusual places?
Well, indeed, the first time I had this idea to bring an important opera work in places of today, in places where everybody or where a special kind of people come together, was 12 years ago to do Don Giovanni in a techno club, techno discotheque. Then this was the most famous techno discotheque, and techno was very, very famous in town for youth people here, with the Love Parade and all that stuff, 12 years ago. And so then I did Don Giovanni in the so-called E-Werk. A little bit mixed with techno music, but it was mostly Don Giovanni. And I think it started with this, and so almost every opera production I do in this town combines elements of the urban content of this town, so railway stations or metro stations or discotheques or museums like here, or in future probably other places with important opera works of the past.
And by selecting these places, like, are they part of the story? Do you want to connect with the audience, or do you want to provoke? I mean, some people think you might provoke with it because it's not always the ideal circumstances, like acoustic-wise, for the singers.
That's true. You have some advantages. You leave the opera house, you leave the opera routine, you leave the closed opera circles, and you get a new freshness, to say it very simple. But it's difficult to produce in a not for opera built place. That's true. But the most difficult indeed was Magic Flute.
Yeah, but something like the Magic Flute in the subway station of the Deutsche Bundestag, that was quite a provoking place, also a techno club. Now you've come back to a very classic environment. How come that, and why Titus here? Titus is the triangle story between love, death, murder, the murdering of Titus by his best friend. Like, why here?
Well, first, the choice of the location depends on the piece. The first point is to choose a piece, to think about what it's about, what's the center, what's the nucleus of the piece, what's the message. And then you say, oh, this message corresponds to this place. For example, Magic Flute is, by the way, it's the opera of Mozart with the most of changing scenes. He has the most scenes there. It's 30 or 40 scenes, so it goes very fast. People are coming, talking, going away, like in a metro. Mm-hmm. Only accidental meetings. Only, how do you say? You pass, you look, and then it's away. It's like in Magic Flute. So very light. The context. There's not a scene where they are talking half an hour, like in Strindberg. So. And so I came to the idea to do Magic Flute in a subway, also because of some specialties of the story, and to transform the fantastic world of the Magic Flute into the fantastic world of the underground, with the trains, with the tunnels, with these meetings. You meet people, you don't know them, you know them, and all that stuff. And so it depends a lot on the content of the opera. Here in the Bode Museum, I was asked somehow. And all the operas I did, of course, start from mythology, start from sculptures or pictures, because this is a building with a lot of sculptures. Especially we have the famous sculptures of Schlüter here. For example, the 6 statues. And I'm a lot of inspired from the 6. I take a lot of inspiration from these 6 statues of Schlüter, which we have in this hall nearby. And so I came to mythologic stories. I came to the dance element. I came to the idea to show also the opera's bodies, like the statues and the sculptures show bodies. And that's more or less the ambient. In Titus especially, you can see behind us that this museum is built to celebrate an emperor, Wilhelm I. No, Friedrich. No, Friedrich. It's built. It was called Kaiser Friedrich Museum, and he put the statue of an old Prussian king there. And Titus is also written for an Austrian emperor, for the coronation of an Austrian emperor. So it's about power. It's about kingdom. It's about how to be mixed in intrigues of power and political intrigues and in love intrigues.
It was the first time that I've seen that the opera, like one person, the 3 protagonists, like Titus, they were played, I think, by 3 people, by a dancer, a singer, and an actor. Do you often use this element for your operas?
I never went so far in this direction. Last time I only had dancers and singers, but well, I adore good acting and good speaking, even if it's in difficult acoustic, to be honest. And so this time I wanted to have actors additionally, so to approach to the story, to the content, to the feelings, to the messages in 3 art genres: in singing, in dancing, and in acting.
Yeah, we will definitely put some links of YouTube pictures and scenes on 99 Faces TV so that people can understand what we are talking about. Yeah. You're very much connected to Berlin, like all these operas have been in Berlin, but you also work in South America, North America. Like, what do you do there?
Oh, this is a contrast program because, to be honest, my Berlin work is a little bit, because we have an immense cultural life here, one of the most fascinating in Europe, probably worldwide. And this is a little bit glamorous, and you could say it's a little bit decadent. Yeah. And in South America, I do exactly the opposite. I go to the symphony orchestra, they have a lot of them. They invest money, especially in the, by the way, socialistic states, more socialistic-oriented states. They put a lot of money in the musical education, and they try to bring classical music in the whole society, in the whole community, also in the people who are not university members and all that stuff. And I'm part of this work, and I work with the orchestras, and I go with them in French, in the banlieue, in the suburbs, and we are visiting a lot of schools. And this is very, very fascinating work, very fascinating. It's quite the contrast to what I'm doing here.
What are the next venues that you are interested in? I mean, here in Bode Museum, it's been already prolonged and almost sold out again. Do you already have other venues in mind? And a personal question, like your Flying Bach was sold out, and also the other one. If I want to follow you for your next productions, is there any way how I can follow this besides Googling?
Well, there are different companies I'm working with, mostly with the company TOCC, which has a website that you can look. They did all this. They do the big expensive project, more or less. And well, the Bach project I did with the hip-hoppers company themselves, Flying Steps, there you can find in which town Bach is played. At this moment now they play Bach in Montreal. Unfortunately, I cannot be there to play the piano, so I sent a cover for me, and they got standing ovations last night on Montreal for Flying Bach. Yeah, this will be in Germany, this will be in America, this will be in other parts of the world.
And one last question: what is your dream venue? Is there any place that you think, oh my God, it's so hard to get it? Where do you want to perform next?
Well, next I'm going in the Dome to do a Haydn oratorio about the creation of the world, which we'll do with a lot of projections, also dancing. It's like a creation revue we do in the Berlin Dome. And there are other projects on new venues. which are not finished yet. Yeah, I cannot speak a lot about this. No, it would be interesting to go with a little group of musicians and singers and artists through the town. You know, the principal idea is to change the town into an opera stage, to make the people singing on the street
and to connect with them.
Yeah, to let the city sound, to give the city a sound somehow, which you don't need in Firenze or in Rome because it's so beautiful, but here you need this.